Hey Clashes, in the latest Client Capital update, we had a couple of really powerful tools getting added to the game. So the question now is, what are the best strategies after this update? What strategies should you use in your Client Capital raids to have a relaxing time, but at the same time have the best possible outcome? Well, I will show you all of those in just a second. Before that, let me quickly remind you of the creator code. If you're buying anything from the in-game shop and you would like to support your favorite content creator out there, make sure to use the creator code when buying anything from me. It's code iTzu. I really appreciate that. Let's start things off with the second best strategy in my opinion, and that is the new Mega Sparky. Like, you can set this thing up perfectly, especially with the new Endless Haste spell, which is a perfect combination, really synergizes really well. Even bringing some giants and a P.E.K.K.A. in the mix as well. Make sure that you're placing them into the haste so they're getting really speeded up and having a lot of impact in those defensive layers. Then, as always, use the graveyard to really distract defenses and use the battle rams to trigger this, the graveyard spells in general, because when the battle ram and the barbarians are going down, you're spawning skeletons, and this is exactly what you want to have when you're thinking about the Mega Sparky, because this is what this attack is all about. It's all about protecting this Mega Sparky because this is your priority number one. But your question might now be like, what are the best districts to attack with this approach? The best districts are pretty much anything which do not have defensive super dragons, because you don't have any tools whatsoever to take them out with this army. Because remember, Mega Sparky is only going for defenses. Nothing less, nothing more. So it's really important that you would have protection from the air troops, and you don't have that in this army composition. Every single troop is only attacking ground. And with that being said, Capital Peak and Dragon Cliffs, you should not go with this strategy. The second strategy, or like the best strategy, which I will show in just a second, that should be for sure the recommended one. On this one, as I said, it's all about protecting this Mega Sparky. For the second approach though, we're switching things up just a little bit. For this one, we're using the Frost spell, because with that, well, the Frost is just making sure that you have a really nice and easy backhand. For us, for example, we're taking a lot of defenses out which have the potential of mess things up. And then remember to still use that haste from the beginning. Because remember, as soon as one troop is once placed inside there, it will always benefit from the haste effect. And this is really important, as Mega Sparky is not the quickest troop overall. With that being said though, just make sure that you're trying to use those troops with the giants. I'm trying right now to funnel a Mega Sparky into the backhand to really make sure that it's getting a lot of value right there. And we have a couple of more barbarians in this second approach. No P.E.K.K.A. because, well, we don't need the initial tanking, because we are already really far into the base. And with this one, you can see the Mega Sparky keep moving forward, keep blasting those shots, and with that, moving really slowly into the next stage. At this point, as we're distracting defenses with the graveyard spells, with the giants, make sure that you're always sprinkling them in slowly and don't like place everything in the beginning. This is not how you should do it. I feel like if you're placing every single troop in the beginning, this is not how it should work, this is not how it will work. And that's really important to know. For example, the battle rams, you can tell, we're adding them slowly to the mix, really making sure that we always have some tanking, because this is an important thing, right? The battle rams are tanking twice. The battle ram itself, and then the spawn barbarians are tanking both, which means this is kind of how you try to use them. You want to have the battle rams tanking, and then you want to have the barbarians tanking, all of that for your Mega Sparky to stay alive. At this point, it's only cleanup pretty much. But you can tell already with the time is ticking. And this is why it's so important that you're putting, even in the second attack, your haste spell in action. So wherever you place it in your first attack, make sure that in the second attack you can still use it for your Mega Sparky, as this is super crucial. Otherwise, this attack, for example, would be pretty safely go to be time fail, right? And this is not something you want to have. At this point, I want to add a special army, okay? But since this is really base dependent, I kind of just throw it in here as a fun fact. So if you're looking for a fun strategy, maybe not the strongest out there, but a fun strategy, combine the mountain golem with the haste spell. You can add anything to that. There's like possible to add like hog gliders, you can add the new super miner, you can add P.E.K.K.A. Like you can pretty much add anything to that combination. But because it's so base dependent, I really didn't list it in overall this video, and I feel like it's not really the strongest strategy, but it's a really fun strategy and really relaxing strategy if you're looking for that. But with that being said, we have this base going down, and this means for us we should jump to the best strategy in the clan capital. And well, big surprise, not that much has changed, because with the latest balance changes, Super Dragons just got completely overbuffed by Supercell, which is fine. I think it's always fine to have like, as long as you have like non-stop balance changes coming, it's fine if like there's always like 1-2 troops which are a little bit stronger than most others, so you have like a healthy rotation, if that makes sense. And right now, it's Super Dragon time, baby, because they are just so incredible strong. You can use them on pretty much any district, so if you're looking for a strategy which is like default good versus everything, this is the mix to go for. You can add, instead of the minions, sometimes some wall wreckers like the battle rams, to make sure that you're getting into the base and you get more deployment area unlocked. If you want, like, if you don't need that, just go with the minions. That's totally fine as well. How does this work? So pretty much you're using the frost somewhere in the base where you're having as much air targeting defense as possible, which is, for example, the Zinc Inferno Tower, the rocket artillery, and the air bombs, for example. And then you're adding the graveyard spell in front of your dragons, adding the skeleton barrel first to distract and spawn those graveyard skeletons as well, and then have your super dragons in behind. The rocket loons are mainly used to really distract defenses, and in addition to that, snipe out defenses where super dragons are not getting access into right away. With this setup, you're looking really good versus most bases, and with this strategy, you can go over like water, as we have done right here. You can cross mountains, you can do anything which ground cannot do without the support of spells or anything like that. With that one said, we have the second attack, pretty much the same army, with the only exception on this one, I would like to unlock this deployment area, and that's why I brought 2 battle rams, as I said, instead of the minions. Otherwise, the army is staying pretty much the same. This is the next relaxing thing about this. You don't have to switch the army that much. And with that being said, it's pretty much, if you're looking at default strategies, it's pretty much the best thing you can possibly do when you don't want to customize your strategy every single attack for every single district. And I feel like this is really what Clan Capital is all about for most people. You want to get the rewards, you want to get the medals overall, and you don't want to really specifically plan every single attack. At least that's kind of how I approach the Clan Capital at the moment. With that being said, you can tell already, we have lost not any Super Dragon whatsoever. We have a huge wave of graveyard skeleton balloons flying around. We have even our 1 graveyard spell taking down the top eagle, not the eagle artillery, but the rocket artillery. And with that being said, this is going to be another 3-star. So, just to summarize those different approaches. First strategy, which is in my opinion the rank 2 strategy, it's really strong if you can get those upgrades in, which will take probably some time after the update, and then you can get the upgrades in, making sure that you can level up your Mega Sparky. But Mega Sparky with the haste and with, for example, the graveyard spells in combination with the battle rams and P.E.K.K.A. and giants are really strong. And then, which you have just seen, the super dragons in combination with skeleton barrel with the rocket loons. And don't forget the haste golem, fun strategy if you want to give it a try. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next one. Until then, see ya and bye bye.